everyone, it's Krish with Nurse Practitioner Clinical Rotations, NPCR, and I wanted to take a few minutes and answer the question we get all the time. And this is probably the number one question on your minds if you're on our website, and that's, how does the service work and is it too good to be true? Because it's a question we get all the time. And no, it's not too good to be true, and our service is pretty straightforward. There's just a lot of moving parts to it because getting everything set up for your rotation is just step by step by step by step. So this is how it works. Step one is when you reach out to us, you'll get in touch with us within 2 days and we'll have a conversation. This conversation usually takes about 30 minutes. And I'm just being honest here because we have to talk about a lot of things. Number one is, where are you looking for rotations? When are you looking to get started? What specialty do you need? How many hours? What's your work schedule like? If we know the availability at that moment, we can talk about the preceptors. We're gonna have this conversation for about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna go reach out into our network in Atlanta, in Chicago, in New York, DC, depending on where you're looking for rotations, and we'll come back to you with at least 2 options for placements. If you're looking for primary care, I promise you we'll come back with at least 3 options. We have preceptors that want students, we have amazing students, and we have an awesome process for you guys. So that's why we know we can give you the options you guys deserve. Once we give you these options, you're gonna choose the preceptor you want, and that's usually based off the schedule and 2, their teaching style. So some students and some preceptors like to have teams of students, so say 3 students at a time, 4 students at a time, so that way there can be a group learning dynamic. Other students and other preceptors really prefer to work with students one-on-one. That way you're just with the preceptor all the time for 8 hours a day, seeing patients in and out, and some students really learn better that way. It just depends on what you're looking for, and then you'll let us know and we'll figure that out for you. Once that's done, then we're gonna start the annoying part, which is the paperwork. The paperwork process is typically two forms that need to be filled out. One form, and these are both supplied by your university, one form is a clinical affiliation agreement. That's an agreement between your university and the clinical site, and that's usually for malpractice purposes. Once you send that over to us, we'll review it, make sure it's standard, 99 out of 100 times you're fine. We'll send it to the preceptor, make sure it gets taken care of. The second form is typically called the preceptor qualification form, something like that, where you'll need the preceptor's CV, you'll need their license information, you'll need maybe a resume as well, or just a brief working history. We'll get that information for you as well. Once we have that set up for you, and that process takes about a week. We can turn that paperwork around in, sometimes 5 days, but usually it's gonna take just about a week. Once that's done, we'll send that either to you or we'll send it directly to your school, whatever you prefer. We're happy to do it both ways, and you don't have to worry. We keep it on our servers as well in case something gets lost or someone loses something, you're fine there. So once that happens and the school says okay to your rotation, then we'll go ahead and invoice you a small deposit. The deposit process is pretty simple. What it makes sure that we do and that our preceptors do is that they are committed to the rotation that you're taking. So we do not have situations where it's gonna be 2 weeks before you're supposed to start a rotation and you get a call from us saying your preceptor had to cancel. We make sure to avoid that completely, and worst case, if that happens, we'll find you another rotation within, we'll expedite it and make sure it's happened in under a week. And we've done this in the past. We promise you there's no student that has ever wanted a rotation with us that could not get a placement. And that is a fact. So the deposit process is $100 or $150 for the deposit, and that's given directly to your preceptor so you know your rotation is secure. Once everything is set up, you'll get an email from us 2 to 3 weeks before you start with your reporting instructions. That's where do you go the first day? What do you wear? What are you even supposed to bring? Any of these basic questions that you have, I promise you we answer and we send that right to you, so that way you don't have to be stressed out and you're not wondering what's happening the day before your rotation is supposed to start. And that is it. When you start your rotation, the day before that, you'll get the invoice for the full amount of the rotation. You pay that in a few different ways: credit card, bank transfer, wire transfer, whatever you want. Snail mail it to us. You do whatever you want. But the biggest thing is that you're starting a rotation, you're starting it on time, and throughout your rotation, we will check in with you. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us directly, and we will help handle any situations that come up. Also, your midterm evaluation and your final evaluations, we promise to get those done for you as well, and we send those to you or the school depending on what the policy is. Thanks guys so much. Please get in touch if you need anything from us. If you need clinical rotations, you just have questions. Honestly, I field so many questions from students who just want to know best practices and they want to find it themselves. If you have questions, reach out to me directly, krish@npclinicalrotations.com. That's my email address. And if you need me, find my phone number. It's on the website, nursepractitionerclinicalrotations.com. That's nursepractitionerclinicalrotations.com. Bye.